You know what year it is?
That's right!
The top 10 games of 2016. But first, let me specify some things. One, I didn't play every single game this year, so your game may not be on this list. And it's more than likely it'll not be on this list, because I haven't even played Uncharted 4, Dishonored 2, Inside, The Last Guardian. I didn't even play Pokemon Sun and Moon! Oh, I really wanted to too. Ugh. Another thing, there's only gonna be 7 games on this list. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't think of 10 games. Okay, let's get into the list already. Number 7. Battlefield 1. You're probably wondering why I made Battlefield 1 on the bottom of the list. Well, first of all, that does not mean it's a bad game. It's just that Battlefield, while I did have a lot of fun with it, there were some flaws with it. First of all, the story is way too short, it doesn't really have enough content in it, and that's pretty much it. It's a good game overall, it's just that I don't know if it can really work up to that $60 price. It definitely does not make it worth its deluxe edition price. My god, that's fucking stupid, EA.
We've got to have money.
This game makes it worth at the bare minimum. It doesn't really do much to exceed that. The majority of the modes are from previous Battlefield games, and they add one extra mode, War Pigeons, which is kind of fucking stupid to be honest. But this game makes it really worth it with this new mode, Operations. Although I would have preferred more operation maps. Its gameplay is no different for every Battlefield game, but they really do well in incorporating that World War I setting into the game. And the destruction in the game just make it even better. Oh boy. DICE has really made a good gem with this one. Like I said, the only reason why it's in the bottom of the list is because I really wanted more from this game. And all it did was did the bare minimum, and it's still fun, but I would have expected more. Especially how they hyped up the game. I would have expected a little more than this. Also, another contributor to making this game number 7 was EA's fucking battle packs. And like I expected, they made it microtransactions.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Seriously, I will never support this method. This stupid thing where you get a random box and then open it just to get skins and all that stuff, I really hate that. You know that the only reason why they put that system in is because they wanted to add microtransactions in there. And for EA, it's completely stupid, especially since Battlefield 1 has a deluxe edition. It's bad enough that you're already adding this stupid money-grabbing edition, but now you want even more money from us? No, fuck you guys, no. But it's still a fun game nonetheless. I still spent a bunch of hours in it. Trust me, it's not bad. It's a really good game. I wouldn't put it on this list if it wasn't.
War. War never changes.
Number 6. Number 6 is actually a 3DS game that I don't really see on a lot of people's lists nowadays. And no, it's not Pokemon Sun or Moon. Like I said, I haven't played that one. It's actually Fire Emblem Fates. This is actually the first game I've ever played in the series. I actually know a friend who's a huge Fire Emblem fan. He says that Fates is just okay. He personally likes Awakening better because of the story, and that he says that Fates has a meh story. He overall likes the gameplay though, and says that it's very Fire Emblem-like. And if that's the case, then I want to take a look at Awakening myself someday. He was also not so pleased about the announcement of Fire Emblem Warriors and Fire Emblem Heroes. And I can understand why.
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No. No.
But as my first Fire Emblem game, it wasn't too bad. Dare I even say it might even get me to the Fire Emblem series even. It's a really good game in my opinion. Fire Emblem is a top-down strategy RPG game, and it's a really good one too. Not only does this game has a pretty good customization, not for the character though, no, the characters are pretty bland. No, I mean for the customization for your party, and it's really good. You can change a lot of the weapons, stats, and even just make them like a completely different character overall. And also having conversations with these characters have you more of an attachment to them, which make you really not want them to die. And will probably frustrate you even more since I said the game is really difficult, depending which game you go for, which is one of the issues I have with it. The thing is, Fire Emblem Fates is divided into 3 games. Yeah, I can already see that setting some people off. I will admire this for the 3 games. They do make it unique by having different stories, and each story does have a conclusive end, so it doesn't really feel that unsatisfying at the end. However, while each of them are unique, it's mostly a hit and miss with some of the stories. The story is kind of jonking, a little bit mixed. Either some of them you'll probably like, or some of them you'll probably hate, or some of them it's kind of like meh. You're probably wondering why I put this game above Battlefield 1. Well, the answer is it's because I have the most fun with Fire Emblem. Battlefield 1 was a good FPS game, but I didn't invest as much hours as I should. Fire Emblem, on the other hand, I enjoyed every single moment. I invested so many hours into the game. But what sets this game back on number 6 is because while I did have fun with it, really having it divided into 3 games, I don't know about that. It feels like one game, but it just divided into 3 different stories. Still a fun and addictive game, and I really recommend it to some people who need a 3DS game.
Aren't you, damn it?
Won't you piss your wife sick in the ass from another guy right now?
Number 5. Now, number 5 on my list is been a lot of number 1s on other people's lists, which is Overwatch. I don't think I need to say much more about Overwatch. It's a really fun, addictive team hero game with a lot of similarities to Team Fortress. The community has been pretty well for the game. Blizzard has been doing well updating the game too. They've done well implementing new skins and maps. They've overall done a good job maintaining this game. So why is it number 5? Well, I bought the console version. And if you don't know, the console version is worth $60.
You serious?
Which is already one of the biggest problems here. Overwatch is not worth at all that $60 price. It's a good game, but it is not worth that $60 price. It's a really good game. It doesn't have enough content to be worth that kind of price. Overwatch is kind of an example of a game that's quality over quantity, where it's a really good game and the substance of it is good, except that it doesn't really have much to offer worth that $60 price. Maybe it's worth that $40 price on PC, but I don't know, it's up to you on that part, especially when they have a similar game like Team Fortress that's free to play. Another reason why it's number 5 on my list is because of the loot boxes. I hate the loot boxes. I hate it so much. Almost all companies that implement this stupid box thing always use it for the sake of microtransactions. And that's exactly what Blizzard did for this one. For a free-to-play game, I would understand why they would add microtransactions. But for a game that's worth $40 and $60 as well for the console version, nope, no way. This is just fucking stupid. I already gave you my money. I'm not gonna pay even more money for these stupid boxes that I only have a small chance of getting what I wanted. If you have a PC that can run the game, I suggest you get it. It's a pretty good game. So far from what I heard, the PC community has been pretty well with the game. Although if you only have a console and you're considering get the game, I suggest you hold off until there's a sale on it. The game is fun, but it is not worth that $60 price, especially since there are other games out there that are way worth that price.
Good God in heaven, Ruby, there are just so very many ways for me to say this to you. Never, not in a million years, absolutely not. No way, Jose, no chance, Lance, Niet, Negatory, nah, and of course my own personal favorite of all time, man falling off of a cliff. No!
Oh, Dr. Cox?
Number 4. Number 4 on my list is a really good game that sadly didn't do too well, and that's Titanfall 2. I never played the first Titanfall, and I wasn't really too excited about Titanfall 2. If you watch my E3 video, you can tell that I wasn't really so passionate about the game. But now that I played it, it is worth your money. Trust me, Respawn did really good improvements on this game. They listened to their fans and they delivered. They got rid of the season pass, they added more mechs, they added an actual story to the game. They added even more customization to the game. The game is just a lot better now.
Yo, Adrian! I did it!
And the multiplayer is just 10 times more fun now. The sad part is it had the audacity to be released between Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1, which sucks too, because this is a really good game. And I know that some people were okay with the Infinite Warfare game that went for the futuristic setting and just didn't like how it executed. Well, then get Titanfall 2. It goes for that futuristic setting, but it does it way better than Call of Duty ever did. And it has an even more fun multiplayer. So if anything, give this game a shot. I'm sure it won't disappoint you.
EA Sports.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Number 3. Number 3 on my list is a bit of a disappointing game, but it's still good nonetheless, and that is Final Fantasy 15. This game has been in development for 10 years, and oh boy did it had a lot of hype for it. Overall, it didn't even come close to that hype. I'm sorry, it just didn't live up to it. The combat mechanics were simple and fun to use, it had a lot of in-depth customization to it, it had a lot of detail to the world, and it had surprisingly fun side activities for you to do. But let's face it, what really pushed this game back was the story. Yeah, that thing was a mess. Especially for a Final Fantasy game that are usually strictly story-based. This one has probably the weakest one out of all of them that I've ever played. While I did get attached to the main 4 characters, the side characters, however, yeah, they weren't that interesting. Especially the romance interest Luna. I can understand what they were trying to do with her, but they just didn't execute it very well. If anything, they should have implemented that story from the movie Kingslave. Yeah, it wasn't really a good movie, but the story would have been really well in the game. And I know that people are questioning whether the previous story for the game would have been better. Apparently the game was going to have a Romeo and Juliet-like story. While that story did look pretty intriguing, I don't know. It's kind of a mixed bag for me whether that one would have worked out or not. However, despite its shitty ass story, it was still a pretty good game. I enjoyed it a lot and I recommend it to other people too. Number 2. Now, number 2 on my list is one I've been so hyped about, and oh boy did it live up to the hype, and that's Doom. I am so glad Bethesda made this game. The single player is the funnest thing in the game. Oh my gosh, I love the single player. You can tell the developers were really trying to grab the goreness of Doom, and the fun and addictive gameplay it has. This game ain't holding back on anything. It's implementing you all these weapons, implementing some pretty good upgrades to those weapons, giving you upgrades as well, adding in challenges, bosses, all that good stuff. They even added back in secrets, and some of them are really good ones too.
Put that cookie down! It's not a tumor. You want to fuck with me at all? You think you're the hell with you? You're fucking quiet like that to me. That's why I'm slapping it out. You live in a room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine.
They also improved the multiplayer in recent years, added in snap maps for you to create other maps. The developers really put in everything, and I'm glad Bethesda made this game. The biggest flaw of the game is that the story was, not that really important. I never really got the story, and the villains seemed kinda pushed in and pretty damn generic too. But you can tell this game is not even focused on that, so it isn't really much of a complaint. Also, I kinda wished it ended better too. It kinda ends a little bit cliffhanger-ish. But it is still a fun and addictive game nonetheless, and it is definitely worthy of number 2 spot. Number 1. Now we get to number 1, and it's Dark Souls 3. This game, as far as I know, is the final game in the series, and they put everything as much into it. I've only played 2 FromSoft games, and that's Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne. While it ain't as good as Bloodborne in my opinion, it's definitely way better than Dark Souls 2. They of course add a lot of customization to your character, add gameplay elements that are pretty easy to use, add a lot of fun and tough as shit bosses too.
Holy shit!
They add a lot of spells, weapons, greatly designed landscapes, PvP, co-op. They add all these things into the game and it just makes it so marvelous. Yeah, I know this game is no different from the previous Souls games, but I think they really did improve on almost everything in the game. You can tell they got inspiration a lot from Bloodborne, and I really think they improved it enough just to make this game Game of the Year to me. And I can't deny the 20 to 40 hours I have in this game. If you're a fan of the Souls games, get it. It won't disappoint you, and the lore does really well expanding on it. I don't know if this is FromSoft's last game, but if it is, then I think they ended really well with this game. And that is my number 1 pick.